We all know that Travis Barker has some insane beats, like this one, and this one. But what makes one of his simpler grooves one of the hardest ones to totally nail down? Let's find out. So today we're going to be breaking this beat down into 5 critical steps. And these aren't steps for you to just nail this beat, which you will, but these are 5 critical steps that you should be thinking about in your drumming as a whole. Those steps are beat maturity, kick drum placement, intentional, ghost notes, the sound of your kit as a whole, and finally, sick fills. Now this is the potential start to a brand new series where I break down other drummers' sick beats and sick fills. So if you want to see more videos like this and you like it, you can actually just press the like button. Actually, wait, here, I'll do it for you. There you go. But seriously, we all know that that was fake. If you could actually press the like button, that would really be helpful. Thank you. So first, let's take a second to throw this beat up there to just appreciate how well constructed it is. Okay, now clearly this is an iconic beat because if we scroll through YouTube, there are a ton of different covers. Let's just pick this one randomly. Okay, I mean, honestly, this one's just okay. It's nothing special.
Whoa, bro, that was like 7 years ago. Why you gotta be like that?
Okay, I'm really sorry. If I'm honest, I'm just really jealous of how awesome your videos are.
Thanks, man. I'm actually editing right now, so I kind of...
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, all right, bye.
Peace.
That's Brandon Scott Drums. He's actually really awesome. Check out his channel. But all jokes aside, something that is so important in this groove and something that you should be thinking about in your drumming as a whole is beat maturity. Now, what the heck is beat maturity? Well, step 1 is to be able to play a simple enough groove that fits well within a song. And Travis does exactly that here, especially from a drummer who can play a ton of fast parts and a ton of parts that are really in your face. He has a lot of discretion here, and that's really important for us to remember as drummers. What's the beat that fits the song the best, not just the coolest drum part? Now, the second part to beat maturity, and this is where it can get tricky sometimes, is not only having a simple enough part, but having it be creative enough that gives the song life. There are actually times where a beat can be too simple that it can start to make the song sound a little bit bland. But I think this groove does an excellent job of blending the two, of being simple enough to serve the song, but creative enough to elevate it to the next level. So you can see that over time, Travis's playing only got more and more mature, because when they played this song live, he used to play it 20 BPM higher than the original tempo, which was at 94. He would take it up to 113. But then when you see him play it in his more recent years, he slowed it back down and focused on that original groove because it's very, very good. So the second thing to think about in this groove, and really in all your grooves, is the intentionality of the kick pattern. I'm gonna be honest, this kick pattern feels incredibly unnatural for me and really tripped me up in the beginning. Let me show you a quick example of a kick pattern that would feel more natural to play if it were me playing the groove. Now this is fine, there's nothing wrong with this, but I think Travis's groove is better. But like I said, it's unnatural, and really the reason for that is because of these 2 notes. Let's get these out of here actually, because I think if we simply take those 2 notes out, the groove starts to actually feel a lot more natural. So while this feels more natural to me to play, I don't think it has the same effect as Travis's groove. I think these 2 notes really need to be there. We need to let them go back home, because these 5 notes on beat 1, the E of beat 2, beat 3, and the of beat 3, every single one of these notes are very intentionally placed, and this is really important for us to think of in all of our beats, in all of our grooves. We shouldn't always just go towards our first instinct, the thing that feels most natural to us, because there are other possibilities that if you're willing to work them out, they can really sound cool altogether. So now let's put these kick drums together with the 16th notes on the hi-hat that Travis is playing, with the snare on the of beat 1 and on beat 4. We'll put this together and hear what it sounds like. The third thing that makes this groove so amazing, and that you should always think about in your drumming, is ghost notes. And not just ghost notes in general, but the ghost note placement. Again, in this groove, there's something about the ghost notes that are simple, but just placed in a way that, for my drumming personally, feel uncomfortable. And I think a lot of drummers would actually end up playing more ghost notes, but I think that can kind of muddy up the beat a little bit, like this. But to, I think, a lot of people's surprise, Travis shows a lot of restraint here and just throws a single ghost note on the of beat 2 and a single one on the of beat 4, and it just comes together so beautifully. Now, this beat is 2 measures long, so the second part of the measure, he adds in 3 ghost notes in between the 16th notes on the hi-hat. So if we put that all together, I think it's very subtle, but it adds a lot of life to this groove overall. So now let's hear what that sounds like. Now, speaking of ghost notes on the snare, let's talk about his snare sound. Now, in this song, the drums and the snare have such a unique sound that can't quite be replicated on my normal drum set, especially on my normal snare. But the hard part is I had to do some deep detective work to figure out what type of snare drum he was actually playing on this recording.
7x10.
Okay, yeah, I guess I just looked up what size of snare drum he was playing on that song and just bought the cheapest one I could find on Amazon. But this does make such a big difference. If we play this groove back on my regular drum set, it sounds like this. Which is great, but something that takes us to the next level is when you have those unique creative sounds. This is really what makes the groove in my mind. And this is something that's important for us drummers to think about, is what are going to be the best sounds, the ways that we can tune our kits, the things we can put on our snares, the type of snares that we can play, what is going to complement our drumming in this song the best. So now let's put this beat all together with the right sounds on the kit and hear what it sounds like. Now, the fifth thing that Travis does in this song, so this is actually moving past the groove, but is just having some sick fills. These are obviously things that we would all love to incorporate into our drumming. And so I wanted to break down what he does in the song. It's actually moving into the chorus. So the main groove that we've been talking about has been in the verse. Now in the chorus, he does some really cool fills, including one where he starts the fill on beat 4 of the previous measure and plays it through to the next measure. Now, I don't know about you, but this is not something that I do often, if ever. Generally, when I'm playing drums, beat 1 comes up and I'm like, yep, time to play a fill, or maybe I'll throw one in at the end of a measure. But to start one at the end of the measure and play it through is, yeah, sometimes a little much, but it can make for some really unique fills. So let's check it out. Now, aside from starting your fills at odd times, there's a second fill that he plays in this chorus where he utilizes unique sounds. He adds in a crash hit that he chokes out within the middle of his fill, as well as the ride of the bell. It's really a unique fill that you don't hear a lot of times, and I think us as drummers are so used to 16th notes around the kit that this is really a breath of fresh air and helps us to remember, let's try to keep our fills unique sometimes if they still fit within the song. So let's check out what this fill sounds like. So even though Travis is the king of complex fills, I'm not saying, hey, incorporate more complex fills into all of your playing, but things to think about are, what's a unique time that I could start the fill, or maybe what's even a unique sound that I could put in your fill. This can really amp up your creativity as a whole and just elevate your drumming as a whole as well. All right, so now take this and play this really sick groove, but remember these lessons in the rest of your playing. These can all apply to your drumming as a whole, and this can really take you farther to help you progress on the drum set. If you want to take that to the next level, I have a totally free course for you called Become a Rock Drummer. I'm a rock drummer myself. I love Travis Barker. This is geared towards beginner to intermediate players who want to just become better rock drummers and have a better foundation on the kit. So click right here to get that course totally for free. Thank you so much for watching this lesson. I really appreciate it. If you liked it, you can press the button that says like, because that really helps me out. I appreciate you so much. Stay true, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.